Okay. Short, sweet, to the point. Got it done. Is that Resident Evil sound effects? Dude, I'm gonna love this video honestly, because I love the era of PS1 and the style, low poly style. Made you feel uncomfortable? That means it worked. Thank you, Jack, with the 2. Mid-tier? Come on, guys.
A trend has cropped up centering on something.
I'm doing my best.
Very dear to me.
Uneasy music. Resident Evil. Or no, Silent Hill? Or is this Resident Evil?
It's a type of horror that is difficult to explain.
Low poly.
It's one of those things where once you're in it and really stop and look around, it hits you. Allow me to introduce you to a little something called PS1 horror, an entire genre rooted in the idea that for those of us who grew up
It's Resident Evil 1? Okay.
The era, the ambience and graphic fidelity, or lack thereof, of popular
I haven't seen the original Silent Hill. I've only seen Silent Hill 2. So
this one titles had set a very specific mood that bordered on being unsettling, even if the source material wasn't. The maddening, low-poly silence of Shadow Man, the absolutely haunting rigidity of Juggernaut, and the surreal, unexplainable amalgamation that is LSD Dream Emulator has made for an entire generation of games so unintentionally scary that they've spawned an entire genre of modern titles that have set out to emulate the conventions the PS1 brought upon us.
Like Bloodwash.
The developers behind Puppet Combo and Chillazart are some of my
Murder House? Yeah, Murder House is another one,
personal favorites employing this style, and I highly suggest you check their games out if you're looking for more after this video. Tonight, however, I would like to focus on something special. A new Halloween tradition that I would like to start with you guys, centering on a little something called the Haunted PS1 Demo Disc.
Oh, wait, it's about that? Wait, is Kurt... Wait. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, I know these. I've seen this. I know these.
The Haunted...
Chat, you could... a while ago, I got this Haunted PS1 demo disc, and I was going...
Haunted PS1 Demo Disc is a collection of PS1 demos curated each year into a free downloadable file on itch.io.
And I forgot about it.
These compilations began in 2020, intended to recreate the old school feel of classic PS1 demo discs that were so incredibly popular back in the day. The difference between those and these, however, lie in the fact that within those from Haunted PS1, the games are intricately crafted to feel haunted, to frighten you, to give you that sense that something isn't right.
What the shit? Yes, okay, I've seen this one.
Unlike traditional demo discs of yore, Haunted PS1 establishes a very specific mood for each of their collections. For instance, in the 2021 release, the games were tied together through a very interesting hub world museum run by this cheeky fellow named Scully. He essentially gives us free reign to check out his barren museum, chock full of liminal spaces, a deafening silence, dim,
Can I have my money
unsettling
back in your
lighting,
new pants? No.
and this unbridled sense that someone is watching us. It's a game within a game And I think that's what makes the Haunted PS1 Demo disc so special. They foster exploration,
Looks like Silent Hill
replayability,
environment.
and
Yeah, it's
consistent
just low
discovery
poly.
at your own leisure. And even hold secrets for those willing to entertain the game's puzzles, because yes, these hub worlds have them. And yes, they're pretty damn cool. Now, with that being said, we are 3 years late to the party, and throughout the reign of Haunted PS1, tons of incredible experiences have come out of these annual releases. Tonight, you and I aren't just going to dive into this year's dip,
okay. So maybe, is this a newer one then?
because we're doing all three.
Oh, okay. No wonder so which, I think it's this one. This is the one that I got or
Throughout
tried.
the past month, I've gone and played through each demo that has come out so far, and have gone through the impossible task of hand-selecting 3 of my personal favorites from each year. You and I are going to go in chronological order from least to most recent in hopes of exploring some of the creepiest, most unique, and mind-melting
It goes over
experiences
not all the
that
games,
have
but
come
some
out
of
of this
them.
project
Yeah,
so far.
there's a lot of freaking games.
And so,
And
we've
this is
got
like a
9 games in
almost
total
2-hour video.
over 3 years. So grab that candy bowl, shut off those lights, and kick back. Because tonight, you and I are diving down the abyss
All right, Shadow.
of the Haunted
Shadow.
PS1 demo disc.
All right. You gonna do it again? You gonna be a bitch? You're screeching at me. You know that? Being a bitch. You don't want it on my shoulder? All right. That's it. Eerie music. Is Shadow haunted? He might be.
Roused by the crackle of static, a lingering sense of dread crawls across the floor. You sit alone in your room. A dimly lit memory repeats in your head. 17 demos too horrible to describe keep you from your bed. Each one a personally crafted nightmare. You've tried to tell the others, yet no one understands. A CRT you don't remember owning flashes to life. Frozen in place, you look upon the flickering screen to spy a dismal, bloodied scene. A cracked and faded jewel case sits close beside. A pale gray plastic box sits in front, emitting a low whirring noise. Will you take to the controller, or let yourself be taken over?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Please, more. Oh. Oh, God. Oh, God. Bars. Bars. Stop moaning, please. I can't. You expect me to hear
Contrary
that
to the others,
intro and not
unfortunately,
come?
the collection for 2020 isn't banded together by any sort of fancy museum or mall. But that's okay, because we're here for the demos anyway, and also this menu is pretty damn cool. First up on our journey is a game called Filth, created by a dev named B. Zaroza, and described as the
I just
following.
ordered a PS1. I think I still have my
Filth
PS1.
comes crawling out of the cracks. Let's get to it.
God, just keep playing it over and over. I'm so close. I'm arriving.
Filthbreed is a short game, but is one that packs a hell of a punch. Here, we take the role of an amateur detective, dispatched to investigate a string of strange disappearances that have taken place around Detroit within the past few months. Reportedly, a truck driver named Lewis Burton is the prime suspect. However, rumors have been circulating about him being abducted by this strange group and held captive in an unknown location. Luckily for us though, his semi-truck has been spotted near an old warehouse, and so we're sent to investigate.
Uneasy music. Why does that look like you? Okay.
Coward and
That does not look like me. Look how huge his nose is. Look at. I'm trying to get the expression that he's doing. Wait, his lips out a little bit. I look nothing like the guy. Yeah, kind of does. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. His nose is literally like this wide. It would have to be like this wide. And look, dude, he's like, he's got the tub over here. I don't have a tub. I don't got the tub cheek. Dude, shut up.
With the force shortly after. The trail goes cold.
No, it's not. No.
You can wuss out. Alright, for real. Yes, this game does have multiple endings, and yes, you can wuss out. For those willing to see what lies within, however, you're in for a ride. We begin within a warehouse. It seems to have been abandoned for quite some time. Trash lines the hallways, and notes are scattered, giving us some backstory on the world being built here. Within them, we get references to people changing into something inhuman, roaches breeding within a person's mouth, and even a mention of someone called the Lice Mother. It's clear that something beyond our understanding has taken place here, and contrary to our initial belief, it seems like this place may not be abandoned after all. After poking around a bit, we eventually encounter a gun, and well, you know what that means.
Time to kill. Blah,
A
blah.
malformed, human-like creature begins to pursue us, and after taking this guy out, we have the option to progress or end our journey here. Going with the latter gives us an ending where our supervisor takes over after we file a report. And ominously, after sending veteran officers in to investigate, they return with maimed legs, infested with a strange larva. They mention something about feeding mom. The case never makes the news.
Yes, mommy,
and we
feed
never
me.
return to the force. Ever again.
Sorry, that was weird.
Upon heading back in and towards the back rooms, we'll begin to find that insects are slowly becoming more abundant. Weird sounds can be heard in various rooms, and this strange heat emanates through doorways. After heading upstairs, we encounter a podium holding a book with text in an unknown language, because cult. However, where things really get squirmy is when we finally find the guy we were dispatched to catch. Immediately in front of him
he got
is a
worms
path
in his crotch,
to a
in his
basement.
balls.
And upon exploring it,
Balls.
we realize that the place is heavily infested with massive insects that prowl the walls around us. Egg sacs adorn the floors, and an unknown fluid resembling bile festers at our feet.
Fluid on our feet. Yes.
Unfortunately, there's not much else down here, and
Love
from
that.
this point, we're left with no other option but to leave, thus bringing us to our third and final ending. With this one, our supervisor takes our report, even though it is absolutely batshit crazy, and in response, he suggests that we take a break. We do, and come morning, we wake up to the news of a massive fire at the warehouse. Everything is gone, yet 12 inhuman shells of bodies have been recovered. And after its initial wave in the news, the case of Lewis Burton is presumed forgotten.
Thus?
Filth Breed is a very effective, eerie little game based upon a grounded, relatable premise. I think what makes it so scary to me is the fact that this entire game feels like one very brief, yet disturbing nightmare that the protagonists can hardly wrap their mind around. The finer details of who these people are, why they're here, and what the fuck is going on with these parasitic larvae are never fleshed out.
Ew.
It's not even something we care to learn more about. Like any normal human being, the first thing we do is bury it, to get as far away as feasibly possible from ever reliving the hell we just went through by the hands of creatures completely alien to anything we have ever known. I think the real horror of Filth
Just don't
Breed
like the way
is
they
that
wiggle?
they have to live with that.
Why not?
With knowing that something as disgusting and repulsive as what they witnessed lives in the same world they do. But given that they quit the Force and put it behind them, the rest of humanity is none the wiser. And they are left to fester.
Oh yay, heartworms.
Sam receives a strange tape in the mail. Watching it brings her back to a deeply unsettling place that seems strangely familiar.
Dude, I love that he plays the intro every single time. He knows me. He knows. Dude, the music's good.
Heartworm is a very special game.
Here, one second. I need to immerse myself. Because that, dude, one second. I'm going to go put Shadow up. I'm going to immerse myself with my headphone. Immersion initiated.
PS1-like projects that have come out of these demo discs. Created by one person named Vincent, the game dives into the inner psyche and how memories shape who we are. Delivered with tank controls and a fixed perspective, we take the role of a woman named Sam.
God, I hate
the
tank
game
controls,
opens in
man.
her studio apartment, and it's like any other day. Things are quiet. Our book sits on the coffee table, and for all intents and purposes, life is painfully ordinary. Curiously,
behind you?
near the back wall is a document, and after inspecting it,
Damn,
we
look
learn
at that
it's a clinician's
tattoo.
evaluation for Sam. She's unfortunately undergoing severe symptoms from childhood trauma, including insomnia, intrusive thoughts about self-harm, low self-esteem, obsessions, panic attacks, and high baseline anxiety. Reportedly, these are chronic and are ever encroaching on how she lives her life.
Oh, God.
At the end of the document, they suggest
just
that
sad.
Sam tries exposure therapy, a form of treatment focused on facing the trauma source head-on. At this point, it's unclear how long it's been since she received this evaluation, or if she ever went forth to follow up on it. But what does
This
become
game is
immediately
about
clear
me.
is that we have a visitor.
The visitor?
We pick up the tape and place it into our VCR. Yet, instead of watching it,
It comes out of the TV? Ring style?
we live it. Before us is a large home with the phrase, "Do you remember?" draped along the fence. And with this message, the
I remember.
implications are clear. Whatever happened on this tape is or is part of the childhood trauma that's been plaguing our entire life. After making our way inside the home, we find that it's strangely quiet. Novels about trauma-based hallucinations are scattered across the desk.
What?
The TV remains on with no one to watch
You
it.
keep on losing in Rainbow Friends? What do you want me to do about it?
And strange context clues like these track marks in this missing book plead for us to solve them. For most of the demo, puzzle solving is what we do. We take the key and make our way to the garage.
He's a living
We discover a
serotonin
novel
boost.
about
I
fearing
agree.
death. We find the missing book. We unlock the basement. And towards the very end, we find a letter. Sam, I tried calling, but your phone's disconnected, and I didn't know what else to do. Everyone's worried. Your boss
dream.
called Mom, and she said you stopped showing
Here,
up.
just take my water.
I called Jane, but she said she's not talking to you anymore. I know I haven't always been there for you, but if you need anything, I want to help.
Is this
What's
implying
going
that she's
on with
already
you?
dead?
Is this about what happened? It was 10 years ago, Sam. It's not your fault. You can't hang on to this forever. I love you. Please call me. D.
You know, it's funny, chat. Sorry, since we're talking about Ezra, he does this thing where he acts like he's doing a stream or a video, where, because you know, he hears me recording downstairs, and every time he plays his game, he always just like you even hear him say, "All right, make sure to like and subscribe, guys." It's so cute. All right.
Following this, we proceed down an elevator, revealing a dreamlike path leading to yet another television. And upon turning it on, the device itself doesn't boot, but rather an alternative version of us. One that is out to harm us, to plague us. Almost like a traumatic memory. The Heartworm demo is, by every stretch, a walking simulator that ends on a very effective cliffhanger. For those with a keen eye, however, an inventory system does exist, and in the full release, yes, there will be combat, and yes, the world becomes fully realized.
Dude, I hope
Yet,
these games
even aside
actually
from
get
all this,
fully
the
finished.
small snippet of atmosphere we got
Some of them, at
was
least.
masterful, and there were moments when I genuinely had to stop to soak it all in.
I'm allergic to walking simulators. Yeah, I have to be in the mood, man. A walking simulator has to be, like, very immersive for me to truly...
The subject matter Heartworm
Enjoy
entertains revolves around the depths of the mind, all wrapped up within a love letter package to the survival horror masterpieces of yore.
Yeah, the theme of this is pretty
The
interesting.
dev is a one-man team, and if you're interested in helping them realize this gem to its full potential, they welcome any and all help they can get. Heartworm is a haunting A+ from me. Please play it.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm glad that he's actually, like, promoting these at the same time. These games are very good. Next.
Neko Yume is an ambient exploration game in which you traverse a cat-filled dream world.
A cat-filled dream world? Dude, that's my hell. Alright, I'm just kidding. Yes! PlayStation! Oh! Meow or something?
At this
the
point,
fuck?
everyone knows
Oh!
about LSD Dream Emulator, a surreal dreamlike walking simulator with no defined goal. To this day, it's one of the most recognizable video games ever made, primarily due to its randomly generated worlds, vivid colors, nonsensical textures, and other
Damn!
things living in the same world you do. All living their own life. All bearing a history of their own. All just existing. Forever. Enter Neko Yume, a game developed by Modus Interactive and heavily inspired by LSD. From the get-go, the similarities
I
are
already
abundant.
love this.
The main menu is the exact same, the visual style, the exact same, and the absolute off-the-rails inexplicable weirdness. Yeah, it's there.
Dude, I want to play this now.
Contrary to LSD, however, this build of Neko Yume does have a defined goal, and that's to search for and catch 4 cats hidden throughout this world. At the game's beginning, we're dropped into a hub area with a large foreboding cat head staring down upon us. We initially have no idea who it is or what it's for. And who am I kidding? Making sense of anything in a game like this? Hopeless. To be honest, aside from running around and hunting down cats, there isn't much else to Neko Yume. But
What's up?
I think that's okay, because the takeaway from its experience isn't so much
Oh, you
about the
got
gameplay.
muffin? Hell yeah.
I took a bite. I'm sorry. I just wanted to try it.
Just a pumpkin muffin is so fucking good. Be jealous.
But the abstract environments given to us. As we explore, we'll notice that the day-night cycle slowly changes, and
so
with
good.
it, each region inherits an entirely fresh, surreal feeling that maintains this odd sense of uniqueness even when revisiting places you've already been to. This game is one massive liminal space, compounded by the otherworldly NPCs and animals that we encounter along our journey.
Dude, I honestly just want to play these games now.
Fish with cat ears, bizarre two-legged cat heads bouncing around, to nothing. A lone random, forever fiddling with this marble. A librarian trapped inside hallways with nothing to watch.
It's a back room.
And massive godlike heads shooting off into nothing. This game isn't disturbing by any stretch of the word, but it instills this uneasiness due to how absolutely weird it is. Nobody with any sort of logic as we know it lives in this place.
This is pure art.
Yet at the same time, perhaps we're the outsiders.
Yeah, I would say this is more art
just
than
as nonsensical
really
to
a
them
game.
as they are to us. What is normal in this world anyway? Neko Yume is a very brief game, yet it's one that I couldn't not talk about in a video like this. It's one of the most faithful recreations of LSD Dream Emulator that I have ever seen. And the bonus is that, hey, it's got cats, so that's pretty cool. If you're in the mood for a surreal, dreamlike trip into
that statement right there, that someone said in chat, petting cats while on acid makes their fur feel weird, like you could feel each hair. That's the most you'll only understand if you've been on acid phrases. Because to someone who hasn't, you're like, well, obviously you feel every hair. I don't know why I thought that was just hilarious, because like it just sounds so stupid.
To a world unexplainable.
But I know what you mean.
This game awaits you with open arms. A full release is reportedly in the works, so hopefully in the near future,
what would be a full release though?
Into a fully realized world to really see what the inner confines of a cat's mind has in store for us.
Oh, we got a sponsor? Oh, okay. Ezra, you can always do it tomorrow or the next day. You don't have to finish it today.
And you awake to find yourself in a room swathed in shadow. The memories of your arrival.
He gets really upset
to confront in your
if he can't like
state.
beat something.
The room is empty, save for one thing: a stone pedestal, nakedly imposing. Something wants you to approach, and so you do. On the pedestal lies a lone, cracked jewel case. Your fingers run across the surface. Demo disc. Without warning, the darkness dies, sickly light flooding the room, and you find yourself in a massive building of stone walls and marble pillars.
Why does it sound like the beginning to like a porno?
The air is cold, yet stuffy.
Dude, exactly.
As if you breathe gaseous dust.
Dude, that's literally what... Dude, that... Wow.
A showcase.
It's just a porno.
You stand within a showcase. A showcase of curious remnants of the culture outside this place. Of the culture you'll never return to. And the shapes inside the displays sting your eyes like glass needles. You are home.
But I didn't order a pizza. And then they start having sex.
And so we make our way to Scully's Museum, a masterclass in liminal atmospheric design and a long deviation from the simplicity of last year's disc.
Welcome, friend.
This place is grand, and completely open for us to explore at our own
It's actually
leisure.
really cool.
Multiple floors, showrooms, a bar, and incredibly done entranceways await. Like, look at this. They remade a whole creepy-ass arcade room to tie in with this one game.
Oh, dude,
made a
that
diner for
carpet, man.
This one. A mansion corridor
Dude, that carpet, though. That, like,
for this
90s
one.
carpet
And
from
even this
arcade.
creepy-ass school
Oh,
hallway with the game's main character waiting on us with this one. Anyway, what I'm getting at is that this world is filled with immersion and secrets that we can uncover. Most notably with an entire hidden game locked within this one PC. I'll leave cracking that secret to you guys though, because right now, you and I have other arrangements. The demos are calling. So, floor 2. Let's go. A demo for an upcoming horror game from Japan.
dude, Japan always has the creepiest horror games. I don't know what it is about a Japanese girl in like a school outfit. They're fucking terrifying. I don't know why.
This is a game with no exposition and absolutely no instruction aside from.
At least they're admitting it's a walking simulator.
We play as a little girl walking a city street in Japan.
Okay,
We
that's
don't quite
already
know where
scary
we're
as it
headed.
is.
However, after a bit of exploring, a coin beckons for our attention. Unbeknownst to us though, picking this coin up has other consequences. For some reason, a disturbing demonic abomination is stalking us and wants us dead. Where does it hail from?
Damn, he got
Who
dripped though.
cares? We have no
He's
idea,
strutting.
and all we can do is hide. And if we dare run within its proximity,
Bro, are they dancing? I played this game before. Bro, what if he just wanted to dance? This game would actually be really creepy though. I'm
as
trying
we explore this rich
to make
environment,
comedy out of
we'll
it.
happen
Okay?
upon a few curiosities,
scary.
like this vending machine harboring a key. As it turns out, it costs 100 more yen than we currently have, and so we're left to try our luck, avoid this monster, and see if we can find another coin. After heading past the back alley, we eventually find it, and so we're able to grab that key that we have absolutely no context about. Meanwhile, the demon can be seen constantly stalking us, and unlike other games that employ the same mechanic, the fixed perspective combined with the awkward control scheme makes for an experience that is horrifying. At all times, you're able to see the monster in frame, even if it can't see you, and this makes for one of the most unique feelings of dread and anxiety that I have ever experienced in a horror game.
Oh! I miss having good horror games. Now it's all just jump scares.
Speaking of perspective,
Yeah, I feel like this is a good horror game because I like I've mentioned it plenty of times. Jump scares suck, but like suspense and uneasiness and like what is the style that I'm thinking of? Psychological horror.
towards the end of the demo, you'll stumble upon an alleyway. However, contrary to how the game's been presented this entire time, for a brief moment, we take the perspective of the monster while still controlling this little girl. It is one of the most fascinating gameplay sequences
That's actually
that
really
I've
cool.
ever seen, and the anxiety that comes from this quick 15-second snippet of gameplay can and will spike through the roof.
That's actually really cool.
Eventually, we make our way out of its reach and
Dude,
into
the
a home.
angles and the camera shots and
Boards
stuff, that's pretty
typed
cool.
adorn the back wall. And on the TV screen in front of us is a message. Can you hear me? Can you feel me?
What?
My voice coursing through your fingertips.
Ayo?
Unfortunately, at this point, we're pretty much left here with nothing to do. And if we leave the confines of this home, we again meet our demise.
He hit that yoinky sploinky.
Walk is one of the most haunting experiences you can play, and I think it's because of its simplicity. The consistent, foreboding atmosphere,
Dude, I like
the
these
intricately
because they're
crafted set design,
very
utilizing
unique
rich color in each new area,
and a
the lack of
slew
direction
of
or
just
sense of
basic
place
ass
as well.
jump scare
these
here, jump
claustrophobic
scare
streets
there
devoid of anyone to help,
games.
and this disturbing, unknowable demon that is always in view and that will get you makes for a horror experience that is phenomenal. Whether actually a demo or a standalone release of a completed game, Walk shines on every front and absolutely
Yeah, it's like a
commands the
classic horror
spot
game.
as one of the greats. Please play this game. You won't regret it.
Came, me too. Loveland?
Take on the role of the detective as you delve into a world of murder, kidnapping, and other atrocities, all at the behest of frogs.
Frogs. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, every time.
You guys ever been to a trailer park in Ohio?
Oh, God. I assume it's the same as Illinois.
Created by a studio named DevHour Games and inspired by sci-fi titans like The X-Files and Deus Ex, Loveland puts us into the shoes of an unnamed detective dispatched to investigate a myriad of bizarre disappearances and potential cult activity taking place within a rural trailer park. Reportedly, a once renowned church pastor has, out of nowhere, undergone a sudden personality change.
He became
now
a frog?
spewing bizarre rituals and outlandish sermons surrounding the many frogs that reside in the area. We have no idea why, and it sounds crazy, but we got a call about it from Trailer 102, and so we're left to track them down, ask some questions, and figure this mystery out.
For the last couple of months, there have been several missing persons reported out of Loveland, Ohio.
That is a very normal radio voice.
Initially, we had very little to go on until about 1 week ago. Mr.
1
Buchanan,
week
a
ago.
resident of a small trailer park on the outskirts of town, contacted the Loveland authorities to report strange happenings from within the
Yes, every radio station in Ohio sounds like a pompous, low-voiced British person. To report strange happenings within the park.
park. He claimed that the other members of the community had begun worshipping frogs and have formed a cult whilst also kidnapping
Dude, I
the
already
local
love this game.
townsfolk.
They're worshipping frogs. Hell
We are
yes.
dispatching you to investigate these reports and determine exactly what it is we are dealing with. Good luck, detective. We know you'll need it.
Oh, that wasn't the radio. That was the Oh god, there's a frog.
Once we make it to Loveland Cove, we're left with none other than to investigate by going door to door to see what exactly is going on here. Surely there's some logical explanation for all this. I hope. Oddly, nearly every single trailer that we check out yields nobody, leaving us with no other
They
option
all turn
than to
into
break
frogs.
and enter each one. The interesting part about Loveland is that each trailer contains its own mini-story in a way. And through context clues and notes scattered throughout these homes, we're given bits and pieces of the fallout that took place before we got here. For instance, within what looks like the home of a hoarder, we find a newspaper clipping detailing the rising number of missing people in Loveland. Yet on their fridge, they called Jeremiah from Trailer 104 a traitorous bastard before ending their to-do list with none other than to bathe in his glory.
Dude, I always bathe in the glory of
It's
frogs.
a little weird. Once we make our way to Trailer 102,
Frog gang,
the
frog gang.
source of the phone call, the front door's open. I mean, it seems like someone's home. So let's see.
Transfer onto the rate station car and to top it off. A hurricane is designated key. A wonderful
Frogs?
food.
The TV plays to no one. The phone is off the hook. The bedroom lies
Dude,
away.
there's oldies music playing. I don't know what it is about oldies, man. Creepy AF.
Freshly cooked dinner sits on the table. And in the kitchen sits a recipe for something called frog repellent. Trailer 104 hides a key. And upon finding a crowbar and using it on this door, we encounter that traitorous bastard Jeremiah.
Oh!
Yet he's left in a trance by the hands of someone unknown.
The frogs?
It's small snippets like this that drive this game forward. We're lured in by a mystery, by the social dynamics at play between these residents, and this game does a fantastic job at setting a very specific mood and executing that. Eventually, we find that a concoction known as frog shine is present in nearly every home.
Frog
And the
shine?
notes we find later on, it almost seems like this stuff brainwashes those who drink it. Reportedly, it causes euphoria, followed by a strange desire to keep drinking more until you are completely assimilated into the form of thought that the cult's leader, named Pastor Abram, desires. We find that cult members go as far as to serve it to people at local bars. Contrary to basic ethics, they give it to kids to force them to join their cause.
Oh!
And to those of you that are trying to get in their way, well, you just haven't found the Lord yet. You're a heathen, muddying his word, a sinner who will never be saved. It's
Jamie,
clear
I
that
put it
these
in the cart,
residents
by
are
the
in
way.
past the point of no return. And as we explore, we'll find various pieces of a medallion that unlocks the gate to Pastor Abram's home. Once we head up there and explore it, we find more religious texts focusing on the Great Flood, a mysterious, unnamed VHS tape, and weirdest of all,
Frogs?
a surveillance room.
What?
For some reason, the game stops us before we can invest.
What?
I want you to put a video of me trying to beat the game Rainbow Friends so people can know what I'm doing.
Oh, I can't do that right now.
Why?
Because I can't. I can't do that.
Before we can.
I'm watching something scary.
Investigate, instead dropping us
Oh!
here, our agency HQ, with no one around.
Dude, I would hate playing this game. Holy shit. I'd be creeped the fuck out right now.
You know, it's strange because it almost seems like we're more of a prisoner than an agent. But hey, that's just me.
Good evening, Detective. We hope your investigation was a success. Please have a seat.
Why does my chat freeze?
Thank you, Detective.
Stop freezing. It's all Frogger now.
Our line of work is very dangerous, especially to those with a weak mind. To combat this, we employ the use of sodium pentothal.
Yeah.
Think of it as a kind of truth-telling serum. Now, detective, please take the pill on the desk, place it into your mouth, and then swallow it.
Yes.
From here, we're left with no other option.
I
but to
must
take that
become
pill,
frog.
forcing us to tell the truth, as if we wouldn't have already. Yet before we get context on what that's for or why we're here, the Loveland demo draws to its end.
Dude, that looks like a creepy fucking game,
You know,
man.
Dev
Holy
Hour
shit.
is pretty damn good at cliffhangers because I have so many questions.
They better make this a whole game.
In one of the homes, we find a note referencing a ritual taking place at the lake. And for a brief moment, we see figures walking in the distance, as if we're being watched. A bedroom transformed into a mini swamp awaits in another, as if the resident living here became this. This sketchy resident wants us to kill Jeremiah, lest he ignores us and hides in darkness. This home was ravaged, leaving behind insects and religious imagery. When playing this game alone, discoveries like this set a mood that just bleeds mystery and intrigue. And interestingly, every action you take can cause the game to play out in unique ways. Through dialogue choices and the interactive phone system, we're able to unlock various items that we can use to uncover more about the story. Unfortunately, in my experience though, I found that the ending is all the same. I guess that's the hallmark of a good demo, because I genuinely want to uncover this story. Pastor Abram is doing things unforgivable.
Did you watch his evidence video that came out 4 hours ago? No, but I think my wife watched it.
Really want to know where he is. Where everyone is.
They became frogs.
And how the hell we got here.
They're all frogs.
Step into your chamber. Let her do the rest.
Oh God, please, yes. Oh, there it is. Yes. Oh, let it bask all over me. Good analog intro. It's scary, spooky. This is literally an analog horror.
Escape to a paradise previously only possible in your dream. Lose yourself in your dream existence.
Yes.
Everyone has noticed any or all of the following symptoms. Please call 1-800-13.
Echostasis comes from Enigma Studios and centers around artificial intelligence and its relationship to the human mind in the far future. In a way, it's like Soma combined with Observer in the sense that in this timeline, the development of AI has reached such a point to where the concept of a virtual utopia can be promised to those willing to experience it. If you've ever played Observer,
almost a good game.
then you know that when artificial intelligence and the human form combine, the result is detrimental.
I haven't played Observer.
What the fuck just happened? How did it get here?
Matriarch, give me the duration of the last sequence.
You were connected for 16 minutes and 43 seconds, real time.
16 minutes? Am I losing?
Our journey begins with a tutorial. We're dropped into a dreamscape with a foreboding sarcophagus in the distance, and communicating directly with the player is some sort of sentient program.
Observer was
They
crazy,
inform us
so
that
unique.
we need to help them
I've actually never heard
to
of
establish
Observer.
something called Echostasis by reclaiming this land, even though this reality is apparently not our own. And so, with what appears to be an angel in the far distance, we find a shotgun and fire at it, unleashing some.
I don't know why that like the succession of those. We see an angel in the distance, and then we grab a shotgun. It's just like out of nowhere. Angel in the distance. We grab a shotgun, start shooting at her.
Something beyond our level of comprehension.
America Simulator. Hell?
We find ourselves in what appears to be base reality. At least, in some aspects. The rest of the game takes place inside this chamber, and upon looking around, it's clear that life as we know it has progressed beyond a point of recognition. AI terminals command the world.
The
Humans
graphics
exist
really
in delicate
upgraded
pods,
right there. Holy
living
shit.
within an algorithmically generated utopia designed to maximize the output of dopamine and serotonin. Advertisements promise an entire new world, and something is wrong. A cyber attack has taken place inside someone's chamber, and we're tasked as an engineer with helping to solve that problem. Interestingly, we're able to
That's
interact
interesting.
with this terminal in the form of specific inputs, and entering terms like echo and utopia generate dumps of lore that are pivotal in world building. The way it works within Echostasis starts with the human mind. Upon entering a chamber,
Yeah, the poster
or
does
pod,
remind me of
a new
Bioshock,
reality,
yeah.
known as an echo, is generated based upon your cerebral profile. Initially, it begins as a copy of reality as we know it. However, over time, it'll slowly morph into something that will maximize the entertainment and pleasure of you. Echostasis, however, is something that you do not want. It's the point to where the connection between the human mind and body, known as a core, are severed, forever locking a version of your consciousness within their world, and in turn leaving your physical body completely brain dead. After poking around
So you're
a bit,
stuck in
we
a
learn
dream
that the
within a
human in
dream?
that pod is subject number 65. And after entering their ID into the terminal, we find that they're undergoing a slow but steady echostasis without even knowing it. This subject is so distracted within their perfect utopia that they haven't even realized the finer details corrupting before them. The good news is that we can help, and so we utilize a tool known as Dreamscape to jack into their mind to find their core and to reestablish that connection.
Why are my alerts just randomly going off? I didn't get any members. Weird. Okay.
Curiously, we only have 1 full minute to explore their mind, yet are given unlimited opportunities to try this. And so, with trial and error, we're able to speedrun this environment, unlocking shortcuts for our next run, and discovering paintings and artifacts from the depths
I
of
like
their
that
psyche.
concept. That's pretty cool.
Eventually, we find their core, and much like the beginning, a shotgun is given to us.
All right, I gotta break into this guy's mind and, you know, try to fix the problem. What do I need to do? Just pull out your shotgun. What? What do you mean? Yeah, there's gonna be a shotgun right next to the thing that you need to destroy, and just shoot it. That we're talking about going inside someone's mind to help them, to fix the problem. We live in America. You understand that, right?
Once we take it,
this is America.
We use it on this thing at the request of the AI. However, the result of our actions just might have killed them. We're then thrown back into base reality, with everything awry. We are complicit in this. Echostasis was successful. We have committed murder.
Base reality? Yeah, Ohio.
You guys know that I am an absolute sucker for sci-fi horror, and Echostasis nails it with flying colors.
Yeah, that game looks really
score,
good.
The real-life implications of our actions, the world so far removed from ours.
The art style
and the
was
natural
really cool,
apprehension
too.
Of listening to the commands of an AI makes for a surreal, disturbing experience that provokes thought and introspection.
Can we change the
When I was
Ohio
interacting with
meme
that
to
terminal,
Illinois?
I was picking its brain on this world's lore, and it said something that stood out to me more than anything else. First, we had algorithms that would simply suggest media that a user may like. Then, these algorithms learned how to generate this media themselves. Today, the Echo represents the natural conclusion of this process, an entire reality algorithmically generated from the user's cerebral profile. Our algorithm stands as the very best in artificial
The
intelligence.
Echostasis is just Illinois. You're stuck there forever. There's no escape. Hell, I'm in
Humanity has lost
Echostasis
touch with
then.
itself to algorithms. Singularity has long been reality. But at that point, what even is reality
How do you feel about Minnesota?
anymore?
Place Biden saying, Minnesota! With a round of applause. I've never been. I don't know. What about Florida? The armpit of America? The dangling flaccid penis of America?
In the before time, the mall stood king among shopping locales.
Chat, I hate to do this to you guys. I don't know. How long do we have? I mean, fuck it. You know, let's do it. I'm going through it. It's 30 minutes. It's 30 minutes. I can handle
People
it.
of all kinds flocked to them.
It's 30
swarming
minutes.
store
I'm just gonna,
after
okay,
store.
I'm gonna skip the little intro of the disc. We're just gonna move on to the games. If that's all right with you guys. 'Cause I don't have too much time.
A young girl named Liana arrives home after major surgery and is met with a strange mannequin claiming to be her mother.
Fucking mannequins, dude. Yes. 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 Yes.
You remember
Yes.
those eerie liminal 3D concept renders from the mid-80s?
Yeah. Me when I look at foot.
Imagine that, combined with the bizarre, awkward FMVs that were prominent in PS1 titles back then, and that is what you get with the visual style in Mothered. And trust me, it makes for a combination that is absolutely chilling.
Mannequins, you need to play the new Resident Evil Rose DLC. Dude, I haven't played the. I don't even think I played the new Resident Evil yet. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna go in right here.
The game in a
oh,
car.
Fuck, no. Okay.
We're with our father, and he claims that he picked us up from major surgery. Oddly, he makes bizarre claims, like the fact that we'll have to stay with Mother in order to get back to our normal self, and that he's glad he got us out of that place. Even stranger, we never see his face, and towards the end of our drive, he gets incredibly weird about how everything he and our mother do is for us.
Definitely kidnapper. It feels like it.
I could be way overthinking it, but it almost seems like he wasn't supposed to pick us up. Like, why do we have to stay with Mother? Why does that sound so strange?
Yo, thank you, Jet Blooms. Well, here we are.
Home, and our dad tells us to bring him a box.
A creepy shed where she's
head
gonna
in,
get murdered.
And from here, we get our very first look at what I was talking about earlier. Tell me this art style isn't unnerving as all hell. Eventually, we find the box.
I don't like that.
Take it outside. Our dad leaves without giving us a hug, and we make our way back in.
I give you a hug, but what?
Mother is nowhere to be found, and we can hear crying from a bedroom. Even more perplexing, the bathroom mirror is taped up, supposedly for our own good. And in the far distance, we can see a foreboding barn engulfed in flames.
Casual.
So what in the world is going on here? And why is everything so off?
Welcome to hell.
It's a happy morning. The birds are singing, the sun is shining, we're alive, and making us breakfast is none other than...
Yeah, that's Mom. Hey, yo, she thick.
Well, Mom's gotten a little weird. And our breakfast? Textureless. On Monday afternoon, Mother gives us a tour of the home. She explains various house rules, like how we're forbidden from entering the downstairs bathroom, forbidden from entering our brother's room, and once again, that the mirrors are covered for our own good. At this point, it's really making me wonder what it is she's hiding from us.
Is the daughter a mannequin?
Weird mesh of illusion of bias and Goodnight Mommy. And this idea culminates in its purest form on Monday night, when we're just about to get ready for bed.
Mother. Oh god, that's fucking terrifying. Ew. 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 I didn't need sleep tonight anyway. Yeah, I know. That was probably the scariest part of this entire video. Stabs her.
Mother keeps things pretty abstract, yet her delivery was absolutely haunting. Something about looking up at a massive, alive and foreboding mannequin staring down upon you and airing out their life regrets just instills me with this feeling of dread that I haven't entertained in quite some time. Eventually, Mother tucks us in and we head to bed, and the next day we're tasked with meeting her outside for a chat. Here, she goes on this long spiel about her orchard and how it was the one thing in her life that allowed her to feel a sense of control. To look at this orchard, you don't see all the heartbreak that was involved in creating such beautiful life, creating an environment where they can thrive and come to their own, spending your energy on helping them grow, only to have to dispose of the failure. That's where our hope comes in. And I have hope. It's a strangely profound method of thinking for something like an orchard, and it makes you ponder if she may be referencing something else entirely. During this demo, however, we're none the wiser since this idea is never fully realized. Yet that question bothered me. We then meet Mother behind the house. She shows us the barn before this happens.
He's gonna ascend.
It's like analog horror in a video game format, and this single event makes the context behind the barn fire that much more ominous. From here, we're left to
go back to the frogs
at night.
Chat, go back to the frogs.
It's strangely quiet. Yet,
Instructions
for the very first
unclear.
time,
Entering barn.
our brother, surprisingly, has some words for us. This entire time, Mother has been feeding us dirt, and we've been taking it like it's normal.
Well, maybe she's just being nice.
Needless to say, everything about this family is far from that.
So I'm
And
assuming
whether this reality is even
you're
real or
a
not
mannequin.
quickly gets called into question. We never see ourselves eat. We never see Mother make breakfast, and we never even saw ourselves pull up to this home in the first place. Also, down the hallway, someone is watching. So we approach.
Don't approach. It's Mother. I don't wanna.
Mother sucks up to us, explaining how she's always preferred the apples we picked instead of our brothers, before telling us to talk to him.
Oh, she's radiant.
We head over, and he knows it. It's almost like it's a routine he's been through a million times.
Huh?
As the demo draws to an end, reality distorts further and further while we're given conflicting commands, almost like weather service from Local 58. There's
That's kind of what it
some
reminded me of.
conflicting AI dynamic at play here, and it almost seems like none of who we thought we were was ever true. And at the very end, it finally clicks.
Lose yourself in your dreams.
Lose yourself in the music, the moment. Oh.
So, Mothered is a game from Enigma Studios.
That's
the same group who brought us Echostasis.
Oh.
And after experiencing
That's
this
so
ending,
good.
the connection between them is clear.
That's so
An
good.
entire overarching story is at play here, likely involving the AI system we saw back in Echostasis. Curiously, this demo also has another secret, because the full release of Mothered has actually been out for over a year. If you've beat it, what happens here is not the game's end, because instead, it unlocks an entire sequel, all with a massive continuation to this story, and all tying in to the other masterpieces from this game developer. It almost pains me that I can't delve into this further tonight.
Why?
This segment could easily go on for another half hour. What I will say though, is that in the
But the video is another half hour, you... What?
very near future, you will be seeing more from Echostasis, Mothered, Enigma Corp, and the grander storyline at play here.
Dude, that's like the coolest
This is like one
shit
massive AI
of a horror
analog
game I've seen in a
nightmare,
long time.
Yet it's one that I am thrilled to flesh out in proper detail. For now though, please try this demo out.
No.
Hell, try Echostasis and envelop yourselves in their world.
Don't get me wrong. Great game. Not gonna play it.
You and I will be back real soon.
I'm good. I'd rather not.
You can count on
I'd
it.
rather be able to sleep. You know what I mean? Damn. She got a mannequin ass though. You know what I'm saying? Gob. Gob. God or gob?
After a deep slumber, a trip to the vending machine spirals into an unintentional journey underground.
There it is. I'm arriving. What? What's up? Why? What's up? Well, not right now, but what? Ezra, I only have like 20 minutes left of this, okay? So can you just go? I'm almost done.
Someone said gob.
They said say gob. All right, and go do your stuff, buddy. Actually, it's 7:20. You need to go take a shower, buddy. Come on. God, thank God you guys didn't say anything stupid like gabussy. Jesus Christ. Oh.
It goes without saying that the art style Gob utilizes is definitely its strong suit. Taken stylistic cues from previous horror titles like Garage Bad Dream Adventure or thrown into a grungy, hyper-detailed world that feels so incredibly lived in that from the very first second we're here, we feel like we're in a place far removed from home. Here we take the role of Gob.
This looks cool as shit.
An ordinary dude living in an extraordinary location. And the premise is simple. He's hungry, and so we're left to solve that problem. To find food. Somewhere.
The food is human.
Upon poking around our home, we learn that we can not only crawl around to reach hidden spaces, but we'll also need to keep a keen eye out for items scattered around the environment itself. Gob utilizes a simple mechanic.
Bro, he gobbing
but
right now.
one
He's
I
straight
love
gobbing.
so very much. And that's
Where are the
this
Gabussies
incredibly
at?
hyper-realistic first-person view of whatever item it is we're examining. Whether it be a doorknob, our fridge, the toilet, or some shelves, all of them
Dude, this
are shown
art
to us
style is
with
so
such
cool.
intricate
Holy shit.
detail that we feel it to our absolute core. After making a contraption to knock the rust off our front door, we learn that outside is a sewer. We're living underground, yet aren't quite sure why or if anyone else lives here too.
It's gobbin time. It's a gob vending machine.
Eventually, we make our way to the vending machine. However, learn that damn it. Coin. Beside the vending machine is a cat hiding a key, and after taking it, we realize that we can use it on the door next to our home.
It's like feed my grandpa.
So we make our way out.
Well, it also reminds me, what's that one video of like the dude driving and it's like, I don't really know how to describe the animation, but it's so weird.
Taking this item back to our place allows us to catch a coin from our shelf. We're gonna get some food if it's the last goddamn thing we do. And so, with the coin in hand, Gob makes their way out and back to the vending machine. Chippy chips, here we come.
Dude, I would just be done, man. I'd be like, I don't want to play this anymore.
God, I feel for him, man. That sucks.
There's gonna be someone down there, isn't there?
You might notice something off to the right there, because those symbols are on the vending machine. It's a code, and so we enter it, revealing a hidden path, very unfortunately, leading to the demo's end. Gob is such a cool project, and even though this demo was short, it gave me all I needed to add this game to my wishlist. The hyper-detailed, surreal world, the heavy atmospheric ambience
Dude, I hope
filling
they
those
add
corridors,
more to
and a
it.
simple, relatable premise that devolves into something deeper, makes for an unforgettable experience.
Because, man, to be fair, I guess
Since
they're
the beginning,
just banking it off the
Garage has
atmosphere.
always stuck with me. And after playing this, I've got a feeling Gob's gonna do that too.
Gobbin D's nuts. That was a good one. That was a good one.
Boo. Hello, everyone. I bet you're wondering why I'm here. Okay, so it is currently October 28th. It's 10:30 at night.
Hey, I know. I'm trying. This video is insanely long. I have 10 minutes left. Okay. I promise. I promise. Looks like a Tool music video. I've never seen a Tool music video.
I need to have this video out in 3 days.
Dude, I know that feeling.
Okay,
Oh
so I
my
kind of hit a
God.
snag whenever I was
know
making
that
this
feeling
video.
so hard.
So when I was scripting it, I realized that not every game on the Haunted PS1 Demo discs are super disturbing or scary.
Yep.
But that's not a bad thing, because there are so many badass games on these things. Like Blast Cats, it's like a Bomberman inspired game where you go through these cool ass environments and play as cats. And then Bee Knighted, where you play as a bee, and it's like N64 graphics, which is super cool. But anyway, what I'm getting at is that I had a blast playing a lot of these games, but I am a horror channel at the end of the day, and not a lot of these would have fit very well at the very end of this video, and I really wanted to send you guys off with something super creepy and nightmarish. I recently played this game that we're about to get into, and it is one of the most eerie, atmospheric games that I've played in quite a while. It is retro looking, and it does.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to disrespect Nexpo.
This is Growing My Grandpa.
I don't have much time left.
An
I want to
retro
see what this
point-and-click
is.
horror game created by a dev named Yames. The game takes place over a 5-week span, in which we take the role of a school guidance counselor evaluating a student named Adrian. Reportedly, she's undergone a string of sudden demerits, prompting concern about her home life. The parent-teacher report we're given tells us that Adrian is often left alone, and even when around her parents, they're cold, bitter,
classic,
and constantly arguing. For most of our convo, Adrian appears reticent. However, when the topic of the family basement arises, she opens up, explaining odd phenomena lurking down there.
Something was living there, sort of.
She finds an otherworldly, fibrous creature under some trash. Old photos of relatives. An ominous doll. Books about ritual.
You did it?
Yes.
Good job.
By
High
myself.
five. He got a W. He got a fat dub.
Research notes warning about the danger of something known as whiskers. A letter about a severe accident involving a man named William.
Ezra probably is better at
And
games
a
than
prison
me.
cell inside the back room.
Ew.
At that moment, we interrupt her story. This is clearly delving into occult fantasy, and so we ask her what it is she does with the items she finds, to which she explains with just 2 words.
Oh! What?
Grandpa lives in the cage in the other room, the cage behind the door. They grew people in the cage. Adrian then explains how she read the magic book before taking the doll, gluing her grandfather's photo onto it, and placing it inside the cell with just 1 wish. For the return of her grandpa.
Alright, this is just depressing. My normal stream time is around like 11 a.m.
During week
to
2,
noon.
we again meet with Adrian.
This is a random stream.
Curiously,
Not a random,
her
but
demeanor
not really
is a
scheduled.
complete change from what it was prior. She's conversational, and for what it's worth, it appears that she's healing from what it was that plagued her. Curious, we probe about her grandfather, yet expect more childlike fantasy.
Oh!
During this session, Adrian explains her method of feeding and caring for her growing grandpa. And when we take her perspective again, we're finally able to witness what it is she's referring to.
Oh god, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, hey, Grandpa. Hey, Gramps.
From here,
What
the
the
game leaves us on a
burlap skin, the follicles knit together what resembles a proper person.
with multiple options on how we can care for and grow this creature that we hauntingly refer to as Grandpa. And so, upon exploring the basement, we clean up trash and uncover food and items that we can use to both feed and verbally train our amalgamation. On top of this, we'll uncover documents from past experiments with Whiskers, outlining their personal experiences with it. What it likes, what it doesn't, how to properly store food, and the fact that it will eat anything because it's the mere act of feeding that matters to it.
Oh, great.
And once we finally get the ball rolling, the feeding process is not orthodox by any means because we quite literally place food into a mouth.
And then it does that.
Somewhere on this thing.
You sure that's a mouth? That's a pussy.
In week 3, Adrian's recovery is smooth sailing. We had done some research in the meantime and found that her grandfather, Dr. Jacob Hart, had purchased land and constructed a building for a psychological anthropology project. Unfortunately, he died in a car accident shortly thereafter. And bizarrely, a grad student who was helping him had vanished without a trace around the exact same time. Now, with this knowledge, we chalk this up as the reason behind Adrian's outlandish stories. It's likely a coping mechanism. Yeah, that's all it is.
She's coping with the bussy.
This week, strange growths begin emerging from the basement walls.
Oh!
On pulsating sacs that we can't do much with currently, but they've got a purpose. And so we clean up more trash, gather more food, vocab cards and documents, and tend to Grandpa once more.
Hey, Gramps!
Interestingly, once we induce vomiting by feeding him an inedible item like a battery, he spits out scissors that we can use to break those sacks open. And when
Where'd you get them scissors, Gramps? Oh, Gramps, did you get into the scissor box again? Oh, Gramps, you and your eating scissors. You need to stop that.
in doing so, we discover a small, fleshy creature that Grandpa might like.
Stop showing me your pulsating flesh sacks.
Even though documents explicitly warn against it. Grandpa
the
is
inner
growing
grandpa?
At an alarming rate.
Ugh! Ugh!
He's taken the form of a human and can finally speak. Adrian converses with him, asking about his life, his shell, and his existence, and the information he divulges paints a broader picture on the way Whiskers operates. He tells Adrian that he can take the form of however he's imagined. For instance, if she perceives it as her grandpa, that's how it'll present itself, made possible through picking up her ambient thoughts when she's nearby.
Alright, come on.
Furthermore, he can never truly die, no matter how much the scientists claim so in their research documents. At every cost, self-sustainability is its goal, even if it takes psychological manipulation with whoever is studying it.
Glad you finished eating before this. I was eating during this. Gramps?
Something is wrong.
Gramps?
Grandpa is nowhere to be found, and you and I are left with no other option but finding him.
Don't go in the vent. Don't go in the vent. I could feel him hearing my thoughts. Yes, very, very normal for Gramps. Oh! What if you didn't want to find Grandpa? You know, what if you don't? Maybe just don't find Grandpa? Slowly pans up.
We chalk this up to nothing but a bad dream, yet notice that Adrian is twitching uncontrollably. And from here, she claims that Grandpa as we know him is dead, yet in a way lives on.
gathering, waiting at my finger. Ugh! Ew! Did you just piss out of your hand?
Inside of her. Now, this is but one of two endings, and if we entertain the other, we'll find that things play out quite a bit differently. Heading back to week 4, if we ignore the warnings about feeding Grandpa flesh, we find that he becomes ecstatic when we give it to him.
Oh, yay.
In return, a proboscis juts out of his body, and upon grabbing it, Adrian initiates some sort of unknowable
That's his penis.
ritual. Upon exploring the basement,
That's his
she
penis.
finds photos of her mother, her father, and 2 paper dolls. And upon presenting these to Grandpa, it absorbs the items, reportedly instilling her with this concrete sense of completion.
Ew.
We again meet with Adrian for the last time, and she explains that back home, something had changed. Her parents weren't arguing, yet she heard a weird noise from the basement. I think Grandpa had to leave, but before he left, he made my parents nice, she claims. Before we witness what exactly that means.
He went inside of the...
And still, believing this to be nothing but a childlike tale, we end our final meeting with the following note. I'm pleased to see things turn out this way, and if I may make a brief addendum.
Normal day in
By
Ohio.
happenstance, Miss Richardson bumped into the Hart family the other day while running an errand. She told me the parents were a little odd, but very pleasant, and quite clearly they adored their child. And that she had never seen Adrian happier.
Oh. Oh. Ew.
Growing my grandpa is an
Gramps,
experience
why?
unlike any other. The story presented is, more than anything, a tragic tale of a daughter that just wants to be loved, whether by her parents who can't even love themselves, or through her grandpa, who is quite literally dead. She has gone to the extent of
So that's the happy
reincarnation
ending?
to
Yes.
bring him back,
Her
to
parents
bring
die.
something back that will give her the affection she desperately needs. The
Technically,
genius behind growing my grandpa is that we know that Whiskers is dangerous. In the first 10 minutes of gameplay, we're given document after document warning us about the monstrosity that was being studied years ago. Yet given her childlike innocence,
Basically like an
motive to
SCP.
bring her grandpa back, Adrian is none the wiser, and we as onlookers are left with no other option but to facilitate the creation of this monster. She goes as far as to dig through trash to gather grandpa food, making direct contact with exposed batteries and fiberglass insulation. She cuts open pulsating sacks and rummages through the corpses awaiting inside, just to find something that Grandpa might like. And she even crawls through claustrophobic vents covered in grime, just to find the fleshy abomination
there's
clinging
an
to its
SCP
dying
sort of
breath
like this.
that she, even then, calls her grandpa. And don't even get me started on how she's
Man, I love cutting
unfazed
open
by this
sacks,
game's
dude,
atmosphere
same.
and setting.
Stop saying pulsating sacks, I beg you.
This game is a haunting fever dream, wrapped up in a presentation that mimics virtual pet games of years past. Games is a horror genius, and if you haven't yet played this game, please do, as there are tons of lore documents that I wasn't able to cover here. Growing My Grandpa is an atmospheric, hauntingly surreal tale of longing, and if you're looking for something that'll make your skin crawl, well, that's just Grandpa's thing.
It's true. That's true, it is. Grandpa be sussy.
Now it's time to walk away. I hope you enjoyed your stay. Did you laugh or cry or maybe subscribed? I'll thank you either way. You know I will miss you. I hope you return. Tell your friend or your mother to get me more views, please.